How dare you live comfortably off my son's money? His wife, get out, my mother-in-law yelled. You're a burden, I can't even stand to look at you, she added. I was shocked by her sudden outburst, especially since I had been arguing with my husband just moments before. What do you mean, mother? Why are you saying this? I asked, confused. You think I don't know? She snapped. Nathan told me everything. He said you're only after his money and have been secretly piling up debts. He doesn't need a wife like that. Leave now. I stood there, stunned. I had put up with her mistreatment for the sake of my marriage, but hearing what my husband had supposedly told her felt like a deep betrayal. At that moment, I realized there was no point in staying. I understand, I said quietly. I'll leave. I felt humiliated, but I knew it was time to go. My name is Esther. I'm 29 years old and work remotely. I've always been weak, and my mother, who raised me alone, has always worried about me. She's 65 now and has been my biggest support. When you're older, you need to earn your own living, she once told me. I won't always be here to protect you. I understand, Mom. I'll do my best, I assured her. Because of my health, I dropped out of high school and relied on my mom for years, but I taught myself skills and started working online. At first, I only made $300 a month, but over time, my income grew. People saw me as a failure, but I knew I was on the right path. Eventually, I started earning more than most people my age, and I stopped caring about their opinions. When my income became stable, my mom was relieved. I'm so happy, Esther, she said with a proud smile. Now I know you'll be okay. She worked at a supermarket, but the job was hard on her. One day, I told her, Mom, you don't have to work anymore. I can support us now. Please quit and enjoy life. She was surprised, but touched. I never imagined that you'd end up taking care of me, she said, tearing up. She eventually quit her job and started living more freely, traveling, spending time with friends, and enjoying life. No matter how busy I was, we always had dinner together and talked about our day. One evening, she mentioned, a friend's daughter just got married and is excited about having a baby. Esther, you've been so focused on work, have you thought about marriage? I gave her a small smile. Not really. But don't you want a family someday? I nodded slightly but wasn't sure. Because of my health, I never thought much about relationships, but maybe, if I met the right person, marriage wouldn't be so bad. One day, I took a break and went shopping for my mom's birthday gift. A salesperson at a jewelry store approached me. Looking for a gift? I'd love to help, he said warmly. Yes, I need a necklace for my mom. Do you have any recommendations? That was the first time I met Nathan, the man who would become my husband. He showed me different options, and we chatted easily. Before I left, we exchanged contact information. It was unusual, but our conversation had felt natural. I bought a beautiful necklace for my mom that day, but the real gift was meeting Nathan. We kept in touch, and despite our busy lives, we made time for each other. Soon, we started talking about marriage. One evening, I told my mom, I'm thinking of getting married. She smiled brightly. I thought you seemed happier lately. Who is he? I'd love to meet him. At almost 30, the idea of marriage felt like a dream I had never imagined for myself, but my mom was just as excited as I was. When I introduced her to Nathan, we found out he was also raised by a single mother. I promised to make Esther happy, Nathan told my mom. Please allow me to marry her. My mother smiled warmly, clearly touched. Of course, she said, I can see how much you care about her. Our relationship had been short, but it felt like fate. My mother understood that and was truly happy for me. After that, I went to meet Nathan's family, not realizing how much my life was about to change. Nathan lived with his mother in a quiet neighborhood. When I arrived, his mother gave me a cold look. So, you're the one Nathan wants to marry, she said bluntly. I expected someone more stylish. You look so plain. Nathan, embarrassed, quickly spoke up. Mom, that's rude. Please be nice to Esther. Right away, I got a bad feeling about her. The way she looked at me with a strange smirk made me uneasy. Nathan tried to defend me, but I could tell he was careful not to upset her. Nice to meet you, I said politely. Nathan and I are serious about marriage. Oh, I already know all about you, she interrupted. Your name, age, job, and the fact that you were raised by a single mother. Her words were sharp, and I could tell she wasn't happy about our engagement. Then she said something shocking. I don't mind the marriage, but Nathan and I plan to live together. We're buying a new apartment. Once you two are married, we'll all live there, me included. If you don't like that, then maybe marriage isn't for you. I was completely caught off guard. Nathan and his mother had already planned this, but he never mentioned it to me. They handed me a brochure for a fancy 4-room condo. This place is amazing, Nathan said, smiling. The three of us will live there together. I can't leave my mom. Even after marriage, I worry about her. So if you want to be with me, you have to accept this. I felt uneasy, but I didn't know how to react. My mind was spinning. Nathan remained as kind as ever, and I wanted to believe in him. Looking back, I should have asked for more time to think, but when I got home, my mother was so happy about my engagement that I couldn't bring myself to delay things. And so, my married life with Nathan and his mother began. The new condo was close to my mom's house, which gave me some comfort. I thought if anything went wrong, I could visit her, or she could come see me, but I soon realized that my life was no longer my own. As soon as we moved in, my mother-in-law made her expectations clear. Esther, from now on, you'll take care of everything, cleaning, laundry, and cooking. I'm counting on you. I expected to do housework, but she started controlling everything I did. She watched my every move, stopped me from contacting my mom, and even banned her from visiting. The worst part? I had to pay for everything. You should be grateful for living in such a beautiful home, she said one day. Never forget to appreciate what we've given you. What? I asked, shocked. She had no idea that I was the one paying for everything. She thought Nathan was the provider. Your little online job doesn't mean much, she added smugly. That's just pocket change to us. I was stunned. She had no clue about the reality of our finances. I thought about showing her the household expenses, but decided to talk to Nathan first. Why doesn't your mother know that I'm the one paying for everything? I asked him. She keeps looking down on me and acts like I'm living off you. What's going on? Nathan just laughed. Does it really matter? He said. I helped get this condo, so of course she thinks that way. I was speechless. Since we got married, Nathan hadn't paid for anything, not even the furniture or appliances. Despite that, he didn't care about my concerns. One day, he came home grinning. I bought a luxury car for our condo. It's on loan, but isn't it better than a small car? Looks cool, right? I was shocked. Since moving in, he had been buying expensive suits, designer shoes, luxury watches, and now a new car, all without telling me. Don't you think this is too much? Are you sure you can handle the payments? I can't take on any more expenses, I said carefully. Shut up, Nathan snapped. Who do you think you are? You should be grateful. If I hadn't married you, you'd still be stuck in your mom's house doing some remote job. I couldn't believe my ears. Excuse me? Who should be grateful here? You've been spending recklessly without even discussing it with me. I shot back. This has to stop. What? He shouted. How dare you talk back to me? Just then, my mother-in-law stormed in. What's going on here, Esther? She demanded. How dare you act so high and mighty? I've heard enough. You've been wasting my son's money. Get out. You're nothing but a burden. I was frozen in shock. What are you talking about? I asked, my voice trembling. I protested. You think I don't know? I've heard everything from Nathan. I know about you squandering his money and racking up debt. We don't need an economic parasite. Just leave, she shouted. I had planned to endure her harassment for the sake of my marriage, but Nathan's betrayal was the final straw. In reality, I wasn't the one living lavishly or in debt, they were. The word ungrateful fit them perfectly. Nathan smirked, standing by his mother's side. So, what will you do? He sneered. Apologize or leave? If you walk out, that's it. Divorce. Got it? I looked at him, feeling completely drained. I'll leave. I don't need the furniture or appliances I paid for, you can keep them, I said firmly. I wanted to throw their words back in their faces. After all, they were the ones enjoying a 4-room condo because of my money. As I filled out the online divorce forms, my mother-in-law watched me with a triumphant grin, delighted to see me go. You don't need to worry about this condo, she taunted. We'll be just fine without you. I held back the urge to respond, focusing on the task at hand. Nathan, equally smug, handed me the papers. Here. Just sign. No alimony, no property division. You can leave. I was worried you'd try to claim this place, but I guess I was wrong. I met his gaze, calm and unwavering. I have no interest in this apartment. It never meant anything to me. As I packed my belongings, I made sure to empty our joint accounts. Some might judge me for it, but I had no guilt. Every penny was earned through my hard work. When I arrived at my mother's house, she greeted me with a worried expression. "I've been trying to call you, but you weren't answering. I even went to your condo, but they wouldn't let me in." "Are you okay? What do you mean?" I asked, confused. She frowned. "I called several times, but it wouldn't go through." A sinking feeling settled in my stomach. I checked my phone, and discovered her number had been blocked. "I can't believe this," I muttered. "They actually blocked your number." I told her everything. About how they had tried to isolate me, control me, and erase my connection with her. My mother, usually so calm and kind, clenched her fists in anger. Unbelievable. But you know what? Without you, they won't last long in that high-rise condo. Let them deal with their own mess. She was right. And sure enough, just days after finalizing the divorce, my phone rang. It was Nathan. "Esther, it's me. I need your help," he said, his voice unusually subdued. "I'm busy," I replied, uninterested. "Please, we're behind on the mortgage and utilities." I had to sell the car and pawn my watch, but it's still not enough. There was desperation in his tone, but I felt nothing. "That's unfortunate," I said coolly. "If we were still married, maybe I'd feel obligated to help. But we're not. I'm not generous enough to lend money to a stranger. Please," he begged. "You're the only one I can turn to." I sighed. "Isn't your mother right there? Ask her for help." That's when she grabbed the phone. "Esther. You're being heartless. We're in trouble, can't you help?" "Holding a grudge won't get you anywhere," she shrieked. I let out a bitter laugh. "That was my money. You have no right to ask me for anything after the way you treated me. If you keep this up, I'll send you a bill for every expense I covered." Silence. Then, for the first time, Nathan's mother wavered. "Wait, don't do that. We're just struggling. Please don't make this harder. We won't bother you anymore. Is that okay?" I took a deep breath, my anger subsiding. "Fine. But if you ever contact me again, I will follow through." "Okay, understood." "We're sorry," she muttered before hanging up. I blocked their numbers. For the first time in a long time, I felt free. A few weeks later, my mother told me she saw them moving out of the high-rise condo. "They looked miserable," she said. "Not at all like the people they used to be." I wasn't surprised. Without my income, they couldn't keep up with the mortgage or the bills. They had lost everything. It was exactly what they deserved. Nathan had worked at a jewelry shop, but he never earned much. He must have finally realized that their luxury lifestyle had been my doing all along. But it was too late for regrets. As for me, I'm starting a new chapter, one filled with peace and happiness. I'm staying at my mother's house for now, but I have plans. I want to buy a beautiful, barrier-free home where she and I can live comfortably. It's the least I can do for her. "Esther, you've always been good at what you do," my mother said one evening, smiling warmly. "Keep going. I'll always support you." Her words filled me with strength. I'm determined to work hard, not just for my future, but for the woman who never stopped believing in me.